male rappers, yet it affects all homosexual, bisexual people everywhere. So when you hear people talk about faggots and queers and everything else and trying to degrade homosexual artists, what would you say? First of all, what do you think about having to degrade someone else in order to get over? And number two, if you could say anything to these people, what would you tell them?
I mean, from a hip hop point of view and being an artist first, I think that certain things are taken out of text. Like a lot of the MCs that are out, when they say like faggot or like, you know, anything else that's like derogatory, like sometimes it just rhymes. And you can't read too much into it like, wow, they're trying to gay bash, because people say all types of things, especially, you know, it's art. You can't really judge people's art or their intention when it's coming across. You have to really listen to it in the context and then take it for what it is. Like sometimes people turn it into something bigger because they just want to complain about something. I mean, there's certain times that, you know, they might be getting at somebody, but in the black community and hip hop community, certain things don't mean what people think they mean. Like if you call somebody a faggot, that don't mean you definitely saying, well, you're a gay man. You might call him a faggot because you're just trying to, you know, get at somebody like, oh, you're soft, and I'm better than you, I'm stronger than you. You know, it's more like that competitive nature, the aggressive behavior behind hip hop music. So you really can't, it's a touchy subject. It's the same thing as people using the N-word. You know, it's like, okay, do you mean it in this sense or do you mean it in that sense? So it's like talking politics to me.
Yeah, so honestly, like just touching on what she's saying, it's like in general, really what it is the bigger picture of what they see that faggot is equating to being soft, and why they equate a gay man to being soft. So that's the bigger social issues when I think about when I listen to Snoop Dogg or when I listen to, you know, say 50 Cent throws out, you know, the fag word. What's more important to me is to hear what Ja Rule said, because he actually had intentions of going after the gay community. And what's more important to me is when my 4-year-old nephew comes up to me out the blue and tells me, I'm not a faggot, auntie. And I said, where you get that from? Who taught you? How does he know that word? He's 4. I never said that around him. So already he's in school somebody, you know, because he talks a little proper or what have you, he's a faggot. You know, so it's like we have to get at the bigger social issue around that. And the thing is, at the same time, if people complain about the music that's being put out, they have to put out an opposite. As opposed to complaining, then do something about it. Because on the same token, as we complain about using the N-word in the black community, you know, I listen to a lot of LGBT artists that use those words very freely as well, and it's even more raunchy than what you would hear the frequent faggot or dyke in a male hip hop song. You know, you can check out some of these LGBT artists and they're going, they're going hardcore.
Sexuality could be a handicap if you don't use it the right way. You know, basically, if you don't accept yourself and you're not happy with yourself and you don't walk with that confidence, it could be very crippling. Like some people could be ashamed of themselves, so they're not putting out their best foot forward every day when they walk out. Or they're not spreading the message and making other people come up with them. Because they say there's power in numbers. So if I can affect other people to come out and say, well, yo, this is me, and I'm happy with who I am, and empower themselves, then I'm not really empowered, you know? So it is empowering for us in a sense, because it's like, we are who we are. We're going to do what we want to do, like it or not, accept it, take it for what it is.
Like today, it's empowering for me. The closet is suffocating. To be in the closet is to choke, to die, to be strangled. So of course you're not going to be empowered if you're in the closet. Like what a lot of artists are doing today that may be in the closet is how I felt when I was 15. You know, the thing that made me want to fake a suicide to come out to my family. But today, I can look in the mirror and I'm fine with who I am and my mother loves me. So if you can walk on the street and be happy with who you are, what people say about you, everybody's gonna not like you one day or another, you know, so you can't live by that. So most people are worried about what other people think, that if you walk with a certain confidence, people come to us and they're like, wow, you guys are really positive, like I really like your music, my daughter, my kids like your music, and they never once think like it has anything to do with us being homosexual. Token, it's like when we first started to change and start to become more comfortable with ourselves and our music, it's like when we first dropped our second like major independent album, KIN4LIFE, we did a CD release in a record store in Yonkers, and I had 4 little girls in basketball jerseys come up to us and go, you know what, like, thank you, like, I want to be like y'all. And I remember like when I was in that basketball jersey on the basketball team, or when Noah was on the basketball team, who could we look to and say, wow, like, thank you, I could be like them. So I don't want to disrespect where I came from, and I want to be a role model to those individuals, as well as, you know, being able to be across the mainstream as well.
Okay, that having been said, how hard is it for you to be homosexual rappers, homosexual artists in this culture? How hard has it been for you to get your voice out there, to get your message across, if there is a message? But how hard has it been for you? And does that struggle kind of deflate you entirely?
The industry is hard. That can deflate you. The industry is hard. Because just because we're happy with ourselves doesn't mean the suits that are up in the record labels, they're like, wait, you're not showing enough breast, you're not showing enough behind, you don't have this on, you know. So we went through a phase where we were young and tomboys, and oh, why are you dressing like that? Oh, your music's great. We had a situation where we went to a record label, major record label, okay, and we sat down with them, and they were knocking. They loved the music, looked over to us and said, we love this is hot, but guess what? You're not effable. I'm taking out the expletive. Okay, so he said, I can't sign you because I don't want to have sex with you. And we were 18 and we were crushed. We were crushed.
Definitely.
Yo, what's good? Yo, Sincere, bring that track back. Yo, what's good?
New Kid for Life.
Sincere, bring that track back. Yo, what's good? Yo, Sincere, bring that track
Wait till they hear
Yo,
this
what's
one.
good? Yo, Sincere, bring that track back. Yo, what's good? Yo, Sincere, bring that track back. Yo, what's good? Yo, Sincere, bring that track back.